Blitzers and hopefully a few future Mumraz. Littlefinger here today doing a full tank review on the Tier 4 medium Matilda, which is a British tank. You can see it here in my garage. It is super heavy, super good armor, a little bitty gun with a very high rate of fire. Let's take a look real quick here at the tech tree just to show you where this is at. Matilda here on the second line down goes to Churchill 7, Black Prince, Carnivore, Conqueror, and FE 215B. As of right now, I'm up to the Conqueror. I just need to buy that one. Have not really enjoyed this line, primarily because they are extremely slow tanks, and while the armor is good, it's not great in my opinion at the upper tiers. So anyway, let's look at setup on this. Repair kit, multi-purpose, adrenaline, provisions, running standard fuel, black tea, and protective kit. 63 rounds of AP and just under 30 rounds of APCR. The gun does actually have pretty good penetration values for a Tier 4 tank. Equipment, running the standard, gun rammer, vents, and gun laying drive. So I just wanted to point out that the Matilda comes with a standard 2-pounder gun. You also have the option of a 3-inch howitzer, and my preference here is for the 2-pounder Mark XB, and primarily that's because you can see here the increase in the AP. Obviously it has a very low damage, but if you look at the 3-inch howitzer, you're only going to get 20 millimeters of penetration on your HE shell. It does give you 200, but you're not going to penetrate very much at this tier, so you're just going to get splash damage. So my recommendation is to just go ahead and get up to this gun as fast as you can. So here we have our trusty spreadsheet. You can see the Matilda here comes in at 590 hit points, which is great considering it's got the best armor in the class there at 75 millimeters on both the hull and the turret. Downside to this tank, 27 tons and only 196 horsepower engine, giving you a top speed of a whopping 24 kilometers per hour. And then on top of that, your traverse is only 27 and your turret traverse is only 17. So basically this tank drives like it's stuck in the mud, which is oftentimes a bad thing, especially when you're bottom tier. Shell penetration is very good here, 121 on the AP and 145 on the Pramo, so won't have too much problems penetrating, but only doing 45 damage per round. You do have 23 rounds per minute, but still your damage per minute there is only 1,000, and I guess the reason they do that is because of your great armor. Aim time is real good at 2.8, and dispersion is good also at 0.33. You do have a nice credit coefficient here, so you're actually making a little extra money for using this tank. Anyway, let's take a look at some gameplay. First game I'm going to show is on Himmelsdorf, and you can see I am top tier and one of only 3 tier 4s. So this is kind of your dream scenario in a Matilda, because most tier 3 tanks we're going to have a very hard time while penetrating the Matilda. So we go rails, and obviously the team has gone the other direction. There's their T-82. That's probably one of the few tier 3 tanks that can do some damage to me. I missed the first shot. Probably get that second one in there, and he is quickly taken out. We've got at least 4 guys over here now, so gonna stay behind this wall, and we'll take care of this SU real quick. You can see high rate of fire, but only doing 40 to 45 damage each time. I'm unable to locate the Valentine there. He's now turned to face me, so I am going to just push around. He misses his shot, and I'm going to go around here and try to help the rest of my team, who are in a bad way at the moment. So here's a tier 3 T-46, and we're just going to pump shots right into the side. He's going to shoot back. A couple of those shots penetrate. T-46 is a good tank for the tier 3. But he's tracked, and we're just going to leave him there and finish him off. It's 4-on-4 right now. And basically my objective is to try to keep anybody from circling and getting to my backside, which is obviously the weakest point on this tank. So it's 4-on-3 now, and I just want you to take a look at the hit points on those guys. Both those guys are pretty high hit points. This BT7's been driving crazy all game. I don't expect anything out of him. So we're going to work on this B1 here. Now it's 3-on-3. 3-on-2. And I am just going to chase this B1. Trying to make sure each of these shots count. Shooting into his rear. Probably don't need to be on APCR, so I switch back. And you're not going to really chase anybody in this tank. It is extremely slow, and there goes our T-40. So now I'm on a 3-on-1 situation. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to turn around and make sure I'm getting my backside away from all of these tanks, because I'm not sure which way they're going to come from. You can see the very slow traverse speed there on the turret. Got to the point where I really can't afford to bounce too many shots. So I switched over to APCR. And I've dropped off the radar here, and they think I'm going around. So I'm going to turn and face. And that was probably a surprise to him as he came around the corner there. So I'm going to drop adrenaline and just push hard on this guy, because I know I've got one behind me. Get around this building here, taking a few shots, and you can see it is quite frustrating with such a slow turret traverse speed. He's going to get behind me, but that's okay, because I've got two in front of me. And again, we're just waiting on this turret traverse. And I've got my ammo damage. We're going to repair that. He's on the side of me, which he can, if he can stay 45 degrees to me, he can penetrate me. So always trying to angle. And we are just focusing on this guy, get him out. And then this poor little B1, finish him off for the Koblinov. And that's what you kind of expect every game to be like in a Matilda. But it doesn't work out that way. So that was 1,846 damage, 4 kills, good for mastery, and obviously steel wall. I was shot 31 times, and it looked like 13 penetrate, 18 did not. So that's kind of, what you expect on the lower tier games. So this game is Desert Sands as the bottom tier, only one of 2 tier 4s this time. And I'm showing this second in order here because this is more like a typical ending to a Matilda game. So I'm pushing through to the middle. And you can see here 12, 15 kilometers per hour up some of these hills. Looks like most of our team is pushing off into the desert, which is good. But we've got one person that has gone between the buildings towards the flag. So none of them have popped up on this side, which means they've all gone heavy alley. And I'm just really surprised that they haven't shown up on the radar yet. So I'm going to get down here, nice hold down position, and I'm expecting them to start popping up through the opening here. And sure enough, there goes the KV-1, and I'm expecting the rest to go through soon too. But unfortunately, their whole team pretty much has pushed on through and not been spotted. So we're kind of in a bad position right here. Not much we can do. So now we've swapped sides of the map here, and I'm just going to come up this hill. Got good gun depression, or fairly good gun depression here, and missed that shot. And we're up a tank, and now I'm just trying to get some shots in as they all rush back to the other side. And this is the frustrating thing with this tank, and it's so slow. And you're only doing 40, 45 damage a shot. It takes quite a few shots to get rid of some of these tanks. So KV-1's behind me here. Gonna push on, and now we're down 2 tanks. Didn't take very long at all. But we get a nice shot into the KV. I'm gonna get 3 shots in before he can even turn around and shoot me. The M7's right there facing me, so I'm just gonna angle, just kind of side scrape a little bit off this wall. And then we're going to look across, and he's looking the other way, so we'll get a couple more shots into him. But again, just kind of pecking away. He's gone behind that building, so there's not much else I can do. So we're going to move in on the Stug. And all of a sudden, it's now 3-on-1 again. This time with a couple tier 5 tanks. So we can see I'm trying to angle and keep my backside to them, but it's not easy being this slow. And I'm focusing on the TD, figuring he can probably do the most amount of damage. Plus, with the turrets being so slow, you can't really adjust targets that quickly. So we're doing our best here. But, like I said, this is a typical game of the way a Matilda game is going to end. It's just too many tanks. Not enough damage to be able to take them all out. But we did 1,041 damage. It was a level 2. Unfortunately, not much help from our upper tier tanks there. This game I'm top tier on Rockfield. It has been called out to the team to go left, and sure enough, that's a good call. One of the spots I like to get to is is right here behind this bush. Gives you a nice concealment. And they have pushed over the ridge too far, and now he's getting stuck on rocks and other tanks, and we are just pounding the shots into him. And you can see they're just bouncing everything back. So 2 have pushed down to the left, so I'm going to go down here and try to pick them off. Now we've got 1 more down here. He's going to rush in on the other Luchs. So we'll try to come in and get some help. Shoot the dirt there. Oops. I'm trying to move in and then block him, but you can see with a fast tank, not much you can do. I think I shot the rock there. Again, with that slow turret, you just expect more. Not sure why this guy just sat there and didn't back down, but we'll take the kill. And that M5 Stewart, he probably can't penetrate me. Not too worried about him. Unless, of course, he wants to come back and try to take us on. So we're down a tank. B1's come around, and I don't even know if he even tried to shoot us. But I'm just trying to back up and keep a nice angle. Just try to stay slightly turned to them. And you can see I'm moving back and forth, also making it more difficult to hit any small targets that might be green to them. Turning track and turret at the same time to try to get our gun into position faster. It's something I don't see a lot of novices doing. They just sit there and wait. You can turn your whole tank and the turret at the same time, and it certainly helps. And then the downside is the slowness of the tank and finishing out games. Not going to chase anyone down in this tank. But we managed to do 1625 damage. Good enough for a level 1 mastery badge. 2 kills. 34 of 33 shots there. So you're going to take a lot of shots in this tank for sure. So one last game, this one back on Desert Sands. I didn't play too many games during my review of this tank. I'd played it before and just wanted to get some footage for the review here. There's not a lot of strategy in this tank, I don't think. Primarily here going on the outside of the maps so that you're not getting flanked, because it's obviously a difficult tank to penetrate from the front, but from the sides and the backs it's not as difficult, especially the tier 5s. So just be wary of your map situation. And try to keep those tanks in front of you at all times, which is certainly easier said than done on a tank this slow. So you can see here they're slowly moving up. I'm just going to keep putting these shots in if he's just going to sit there. We're down 2 tanks quickly here. It's not good. And they've got their heavy tanks pushing in. Someone's shooting me, but obviously not doing any damage. So I'm okay sitting on the hill here for now. Got my track shot. Now M3 should be able to penetrate. He must have just hit a bad shot there. T40. We'll go ahead and finish him off. And not much I can do here. It's, the B2 is a lot more mobile, faster tank. Just trying to continue to turn and give different angles, not letting anybody get that 90-degree shot. Looks like we've got a guy sitting in cap. It's not really being very helpful. But you can see the B2 here is even having problems penetrating me. He's tried to get to the back, but really he needs to be shooting underneath the back, so he can't do it from that position. He's just going to be shooting at my turret. So we finish him off. You can see here B1's coming down. Such a slow tank. I really don't care for this tank. It's not my play style. I like the faster, more mobile tanks. Well, we go ahead and finish him off, and you see he didn't turn. He didn't try to do anything to angle to make himself more difficult to penetrate. And that's what you need to do in this tank to be successful in it. And there's no way we're getting to the other side of the map. But we come back and win the game here. I did 1,400 damage, 3 kills, and luckily was able to mitigate keeping tanks from circling me again. Steel wall. "17 shots without damage out of 22. So if that's the kind of tank that you like, then by all means this is a good tank. But I don't see much strategy in it. It's also frustrating against some of the upper tier tanks. You can get penetrated very easily. So overall, my review is it's an okay tank. I wouldn't keep it in my garage. So stay safe out there, guys. Have fun. It's just a game. Get educated, not fingered. Littlefinger out.